Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. Now, what is happening is that Rigathi Gachagua has continued with his onslaught on William Samoei Ruto. I'd like you to listen to this remark regarding the move of Rigathi Gachagua on William Samoei Ruto.
I listened to Gachagua prosecuting the case against William Ruto in Kansas City, and you can tell that guy is on a mission to finish Ruto politically and diplomatically. The damage that Gachagua is doing to Ruto is irreparable or in the near future or in the foreseen future. The way he put the case about how Ruto is dealing with RSF in Sudan, not doing a lot of diplomatic errors and getting in the mix of things, is not going to help Ruto at all. The way Ruto was exposed of trying to register non-Kenyans with Kenyan IDs, and that in that case opening the flood doors of people from Somalia to infiltrate the Kenyan soil and who have the potential of acquiring Kenyan IDs, Kenyan passports, leaving the country, going to first world or Western countries and causing havoc in form of terrorism. That potential is not gonna be taken easily by the West. The statement that Gachagua made, that on that visit to Garissa, Ruto was able to have a closed-door meeting with SHABAAB, who are known international terrorists, and is also a very grievous mistake that Ruto did. And when you have a person who is an insider, an informer, a good storyteller, a person who can define Ruto in terms that no one else can, he's snitching on Ruto. Gachagua is just a canary in the gold mine that will destroy Ruto politically forever. Ruto will never recover from this. And because Gachagua knows how to prosecute the case, he's putting the case about Ruto so well that Ruto may never have a comeback. And this will be the beginning of end of Ruto's presidency, because the information that Gachagua is spewing or spitting diplomatically, and it's factual, as a guy who was sitting next to Ruto or was observing Ruto do all these things, is so believable that Ruto can never recover from it. And Gachagua is putting Ruto on defense internationally and locally.
Now, based on that video, ladies and gentlemen, there is a strategy that Rigathi launched in the US. Someone is arguing that Ruto is most likely regretting kicking out Rigathi Gachagua prematurely. That maybe the best thing would have been for Ruto to retain Rigathi Gachagua until 2027, then probably kick him out, if that is what he wanted to do. But some of Ruto's advisors misadvised William Ruto and he kicked Rigathi Gachagua. And I'm throwing this blame on Moses Kuria. When Ruto went to Nyeri, remember that time, and it was on a Sunday, and Rigathi Gachagua skipped that event and went to Embu. You remember that scenario. What happened is that Moses Kuria shared a message and said that that was the last time that seat was going to be vacant. What followed thereafter was that there was some kind of a plan to have Rigathi Gachagua impeached. And then what followed is that Mwengi Mutusi surfaced with an impeachment letter, and the rest is history, ladies and gentlemen. So let's focus on Rigathi's strategy in the US. Pictures have surfaced of Rigathi Gachagua with the security forces some of the security forces in the US, like the ones on your screen. But the bottom line here is that Ruto's image has been damaged. I use the word damage cautiously, but that is what has happened, ladies and gentlemen. Because when Rigathi talks about RSF in Sudan, yeah, and the gold business deals, when he talks about Ruto allowing unvetted Somalis to get Kenyans' IDs, and when again Rigathi talks about Ruto meeting Al-Shabaab, you know, in secret when he had gone to Garissa, and then the subsequent chiefs disappearing and the like. You know, all these things are putting William Ruto on a very, very dangerous path. Again, this statement was delivered the moment we had some move by Senator James or Jim Risch regarding Kenyan NATO ally status. You know, all these things came almost concurrently. So the image of William Ruto in the US has already been damaged by the statements that Rigathi Gachagua delivered. But again, Rigathi Gachagua was pushing for some sanctions on William Ruto. That is out there in the public domain, because US is going to punish Kenya and not really William Ruto alone. But again, based on Rigathi's request, is that the punishment should be channeled to Ruto alone, not the whole of Kenya. So in other words, Rigathi Gachagua was trying to tell the US not to remove Kenya from the non-NATO major ally status that came with a lot of benefits, intelligence and the like, security, you know, protection. But if at all anyone is to be punished, then that person better be William Ruto alone. So that would mean things like travel bans, usikuje US, usikuje UK, usikuje France, usikuje huku, nenda China, nenda Russia, nenda India peke yake huko, nenda Iran, lakini usikuje huku. I think that's what these people can decide to do. The US, nenda Iran. You know, Iran right now, Kenya and Iran have some trade agreement. US is not happy with that. Now, do you think the move in US by Rigathi Gachagua is going to erode all the diplomatic gains that William Ruto brought to Kenya?
You cannot endanger the security of the world because of your business interest. It is true you are doing business with SHABAAB, but you cannot endanger world security. The Americans also want to know why, against the Kenya Constitution, you have become the worst violator of human rights in Kenya. Why are you abducting young children? Why are you killing young children? Why did you abduct American Turkey nationals of American origin who were abducted and disappeared? These are things that are in the radar of the American security system. You can play around with people in Kenya, but you cannot play with the American government. They have you on the radar. And the evidence is everywhere. And you cannot run away from it. So please, don't hide behind China. The issues you need to confront are well known to you. That you have compromised world security in pursuit of business interest. And this time around, you will not escape. You may push people around in Kenya. You may harass everybody in Kenya. But I don't think you have the capacity to harass the American government. And they have you under the radar. You can run, but you cannot hide. Your day is coming.
Let's be candid on this, ladies and gentlemen, and just tell us below in the comment section whether you think it's going to erode the benefit, all those benefits, ladies and gentlemen. So perhaps if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe like this video. Until we catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.